All right, so today's lesson, we're going to be getting into, on our podcast, we're going to be getting into WordPress Hacked. 3 steps to saving your hacked WordPress accounts. Now, this is probably one of the biggest things that people deal with is you give access to somebody. Unless somebody has access to an account to their WordPress site, they're not going to get in. So these are 3 steps to help you with saving your hacked WordPress account. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's look at this situation. You've just been hacked. Now, we've talked about it in our Ultimate WordPress Hacked Recovery Guide, a little bit about some of that. And so we're just going to touch on a little bit of the topics, but bottom line is you've just been hacked. So what should you do? Stay calm, be prepared for some inconvenience, okay? And depending upon how bad the hack is, will depend on how much inconvenience you have. Timing is really crucial, and the speed of fixing the problem is extremely important. So in that, if you are at it right away and you notice the problem, you're on top of it, and you can fix it and remediate it real quickly, then the amount of time you're down and the amount of money you spend trying to fix it is going to go down dramatically. We call it incident response is the big term for it, but how fast you can resolve the incident is really a big player in what you do. If you don't do it, it's going to be a financial impact. And I know WordFence came out with a report just the other day that had said that an average website being hacked costs about 7 days of downtime and about $2,500. Now, again, that ranges on the size of the website and so forth, but it's going to have a financial impact, and it will affect your reputation. So if your site is down or someone puts some defacement on your site, it will affect your reputation, and then it'll affect people coming to your site. And it also affects you with Google, right? And there's also some legal implications that you need to really consider about all this, and this isn't really talked about. So if you get breached, then what are the legal implications from notifying them? What happens to the payment gateway? What that is that's your Stripe or your PayPal. How is that going to legally affect you? Can you still keep using these companies? And we've hinted on it, and you'll see a training later on this and a podcast that'll come out about it that talks about PCI, and that is going to deal a lot with how you need to take care of it from your WordPress site. And it's payment card industry is what PCI stands for. But most people think, well, I'll put my website up and I'm good to go, right? I don't have to worry about PCI. Well, it's a U.S. thing. It deals with MasterCard and the different companies, but it's a standard that's been used throughout the globe, and these big credit card companies expect you to use it. And if you don't use it, they can pull your capability of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. So it could make you legally liable as well. So this is something to consider. Now, as I'm talking about this, again, I got to throw out the disclaimer. Further information of this informative and for discussion/training purposes. It is not professional legal advice, and depending upon your situation, you may need special legal counsel. Got to throw the disclaimer out there because guess what? I ain't a lawyer. I may have slept at a Holiday Inn Express. That's a long time ago commercial, but I'm not a lawyer. All right, you need to get legal advice if you feel you need it, and this will definitely not supplant that, but just it'll help you. That's the main thing. At least put you on the same context of talking with a lawyer when you get a chance. Okay, so you've been hacked. What should you do? You need to change passwords immediately. Now, this is just without even thinking about it. Change them, all of them. Okay. Some people will say just change your WordPress site. At a minimum, change your WordPress site. My recommendation is, at a minimum, change your WordPress site and your banking sites. Anything of any value, change it. Okay. You don't want to run the risk, because especially if you've reused passwords. If you've reused anything, definitely change them. Don't even have a bat an eye about it, because if they've got one, they've got them all. All right. So think about that. Just do it immediately. And you need to decide on professional help if it's something that you really want to go after. Now, there are plenty of people out there that will help you with your hacked WordPress site. There are tons of them, right? Some are better than others, just like everything in life. But you have to decide, is it worth your time to try to figure it out, which you may or may not be an expert in development? And if you're an expert in being a developer, do you have the time or the desire to go do that right now? If you're not a developer and understand how all that works, right? Hey, I'm a plugin junkie and I throw plugins in, then you may want to hire it out. It's just something to think about, because the simple fact is a hacker will get in and he's going to bury in like a tick. And what they're going to do is they're going to put back doors in so they can come back at a later time. So they may not be so easy to find if you really don't understand that system in depthly. And it's one of the things that allows guys to come back in over and over again. So just something to think about in that.